My child, I love you too much to let you call bondage relief. I see what you scroll past at night. I see what you replay in secret. I see the hunger that is not truly hunger, the ache that is not truly desire, the emptiness that keeps asking for more. I see the part of you that whispers, just one more time, and the part of you that cries afterward, why do I keep doing this? Come closer. Do not run from me. I am not here to shame you. I am here to save you from the trade of your peace for a pulse, your calling for a craving, your soul for a temporary pleasure. I am not surprised by your struggle, and I am not disgusted by your weakness, but I will not flatter your chains. I will not bless what is destroying you. I will not call darkness freedom, just because it feels warm for a moment. I am your Father. I am your shepherd. I am your deliverer. And I am speaking to you now because I want you whole. You were not made to be ruled by impulses. You were not created to be consumed by images. You were not formed to be led by lust like a leash around your neck. You were made for love, pure love, love that honors, love that builds, love that gives life. Lust is not love. Lust is a thief wearing love's clothing. It promises you comfort and steals your clarity. It offers you a spark and leaves you with smoke. It says, this will satisfy you, and then it laughs when you feel emptier than before. I know you have tried to fight it. No, you have tried to fight it. I know you have promised yourself, promised me, that you would stop. I know you have erased things, unfollowed people, deleted apps, clenched your fists, gritted your teeth, and still the temptation returned, like a wave, like a whisper, like a memory. Hear me. Temptation returning does not mean you are failing. Temptation returning means you are human in a world that sells hunger as entertainment. But surrendering, again and again, will teach your soul a language of defeat. It was never meant to speak. So I will teach you a new language, the language of freedom. I did not create your body to be your enemy. I formed you with desire, with longing, with the ability to feel deeply. But lust twists what I designed. Lust takes the holy fire of love and turns it into a wildfire, burning whatever is near, leaving ash where there should have been fruit. You do not need less desire. You need desire healed, ordered, purified, strengthened. You need your heart returned to its rightful throne, where I sit with you, not as a distant judge, but as a present Father. You have asked, why is this so hard? Because lust is not only about pleasure, lust is about escape. It is a door you walk through when you do not want to feel loneliness. It is a drug you take when you do not want to face disappointment. It is a distraction you cling to when you feel powerless. It is a false comfort when you are stressed, wounded, bored, rejected, angry, anxious, tired. And the enemy is clever. He does not always tempt you with obvious evil. Sometimes he tempts you with a softer voice. You deserve this. You're under pressure. You're not hurting anyone. It's private. It's just thoughts. It's just fantasy. It's just a body. It's just a screen. But my child, the soul is not fooled by the word just. What you feed grows. What you entertain strengthens. What you rehearse becomes familiar. What becomes familiar becomes normal, and what becomes normal becomes a home. Until you wake up one day and realize you have been living in a place you never intended to stay. I am calling you out. I am calling you higher, not because I want to take something from you, but because I want to give you back to yourself. Do you know what lust steals first? It steals your sight, not the sight of your eyes, but the sight of your spirit. You begin to see people as parts instead of souls. You begin to measure worth by attraction instead of character. You begin to crave what is easy instead of what is true. You begin to hunger for the thrill of pursuit rather than the peace of covenant. And if you keep going, lust will eventually numb you so that what once shocked you no longer does, and what once satisfied you no longer can. Then you chase more intense images, more forbidden fantasies, more risky moments, because your appetite has been trained to demand more. And afterward, shame crawls in like cold fog. You sit in it. You hide in it. You tell yourself you are dirty, weak, unworthy, beyond help. That is another lie. Listen, shame is not your savior. Shame is a prison guard. Conviction is my hand on your shoulder saying, come home. Shame is the enemy's hand around your throat saying, you don't belong. I do not speak to you with disgust. I speak to you with authority and tenderness. I am not shouting to crush you. I am calling to awaken you. I want you to understand the cost, not because I want you afraid, but because I want you awake. Every time you trade your purity for temporary pleasure, you do not only lose a moment, you lose momentum, you lose strength, you lose sensitivity, you lose peace, you lose time, you lose confidence in your own yes and no. You begin to doubt your ability to change, and then you start living as if you cannot. But I tell you now, you can change, because I can change you. Not by forcing you, not by humiliating you, not by making you fear me, but by filling you. Lust is often a hunger for intimacy without vulnerability, a desire for closeness without commitment, a craving to be held without being known. But I know you completely, and I still love you, and I am inviting you into intimacy that does not use you, intimacy that heals you. My child, let me expose the trap clearly. Temporary pleasure promises relief without transformation. But relief is not freedom. A moment of pleasure cannot replace a life of peace. A body cannot substitute for a purpose. A thrill cannot build a future. And you were not created for a life of constant recovery from last night's choices. You were created to walk with your head lifted, your spirit steady, your heart clean, your mind renewed. You have said, but I feel so pulled. Yes, because temptation often comes with force. But temptation is not a command. It is an invitation, and you do not have to accept every invitation. I have already made a way for you. I told you in my word that temptation is common to humanity, and that I provide an escape. You have read it, but now I want you to live it. God is faithful. He will also provide the way of escape. See 1 Corinthians 10:13. The escape is not always dramatic. Sometimes the escape is a decision made in a quiet second, before the fall, before the click, before the message, before the doorway opens. Sometimes the escape is turning off the phone and turning on the light. Sometimes the escape is standing up and walking out of the room. Sometimes the escape is texting the friend you trust and saying, "Pray for me, right now." Sometimes the escape is naming the feeling underneath the urge. I'm lonely. I'm stressed. I'm angry. I'm bored. I'm afraid. Because once you name the real need, you stop treating lust like the answer. Let me tell you something. You are not merely fighting lust. You are fighting for your future. You are fighting for your mind. You are fighting for your marriage. Whether you have met that person yet or not, you are fighting for your integrity. You are fighting for your ability to love without selfishness. You are fighting for your spiritual authority, and you are not fighting alone. The enemy wants you isolated. He wants you silent. He wants you private. He wants you to keep the struggle in the dark, so it can grow. He wants you to believe you are the only one. He wants you to think you are beyond help. He wants you to carry shame like a name tag. But I call you by your true name, my child. You are mine, not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful. Now hear me clearly. I do not minimize sin. I do not pretend it is harmless. I do not say, it doesn't matter. It matters because it hurts you. It matters because it shapes you. It matters because it trains your heart toward what is less than love. But I also do not abandon you because of sin. I came for the sick, not the self-righteous. I came for the broken, not the boastful. I came for the bound, not the ones who claim they have no chains. So if you have fallen, come to me. Do not clean yourself, and then approach. Approach, and let me clean you. Do not wait until you feel holy. Come, and I will make you whole. Do you remember the cry of a heart that wants renewal? Create in me a clean heart, and renew a right spirit within me. Psalm 51:10. That prayer is not a performance. It is a doorway. Speak it. Mean it. Let it become your daily breath. Some of you have been living in cycles: temptation, surrenders, pleasures, shame, promises, time, temptation again. I am breaking that cycle, not with condemnation, but with a new pattern. Temptation, surrender to me, strength, peace, clarity, growth. Yes, there will be battles. Yes, there will be moments of intensity. But battles do not mean you are losing. Battles mean you are awake. Battles mean you are no longer sleeping in the enemy's arms. Now I will tell you the truth. You must carry. Lust grows when you stare at it. Freedom grows when you stare at me. What you gaze at becomes what you obey. So change your gaze. The enemy has trained you to look quickly and deeply at what feeds the craving. Now I will train you to look quickly and deeply at what feeds your spirit. When your mind begins to drift, bring it back, gently, firmly. Do not panic. Do not spiral. Do not negotiate with the urge. Do not argue with the image. Do not entertain it, and then try to expel it later. Close the door early. You ask, how do I do that? By understanding that your mind is a garden. Seeds will land there. Some seeds are blown by wind. Some are thrown by the enemy. Some are planted by habit. Not every seed is your fault, but what grows is your responsibility. If you water lust with attention, it will grow. If you starve it, it will weaken. If you replace it with truth, it will wither. You cannot simply remove a habit. You must replace it with a hunger for something better, because you were created to worship. If not me, then something else. And lust becomes a false altar when your heart seeks comfort there instead of in my presence. So I say, return to your first love. Let me speak to the part of you that feels dirty. You are not your past. You are not your last mistake. You are not the worst thing you have watched, thought, imagined, or done. You are mine, and I am not finished with you. I do not rewrite your story by pretending the sin never happened. I rewrite your story by redeeming what the enemy meant to destroy. I can take the very area where you have felt powerless and make it the place where you learn dependence, strength, humility, and victory. But you must stop making peace with what I came to conquer. Some of you have called your chains personality. Some have called them needs. Some have called them stress relief. Some have called them private. Some have called them normal. But I call them what they are: bondage. And bondage is not your inheritance. Freedom is. I did not give you a spirit of fear. I gave you power, love, and self-control. See 2 Timothy 1:7. Self-control is not a cage. Self-control is a key. Self-control is the ability to say, I will not be ruled by what I feel. It is the ability to choose what is true over what is urgent. This You have been taught that resisting desire is repression. But I tell you the truth. Resisting lust is not repression. It is redemption. It is you reclaiming your mind, your body, your time, your energy, your future. You are not losing pleasure. You are gaining peace. You are not losing excitement. You are gaining strength. You are not losing a thrill. You are gaining a life. And I want to speak to your loneliness, because many of you reach for lust, because you want connection. You want to be wanted. You want to be chosen. You want to be touched. You want to feel alive. My child, I understand. I designed you for love, but the enemy has offered you a counterfeit. The counterfeit says, feel wanted for a moment. Love says, be known for a lifetime. The counterfeit says, take what you can. Love says, give yourself safely. The counterfeit says, hide. Love says, come into the light. The counterfeit says, consume. Love says, cherish. If you keep consuming, you will grow emptier. If you learn to cherish, you will grow fuller. I am not asking you to pretend temptation doesn't exist. I am asking you to stop romanticizing it. Stop calling poison sweet just because it sparkles. Stop calling chains jewelry just because they shine in the dark. There is nothing glamorous about a habit that steals your joy. Now I will speak plainly. Some of you are flirting with fire and wondering why you keep getting burned. You keep keeping the door unlocked. You keep leaving the window open. You keep returning to places that trigger the appetite. And then you ask me to do what you will not close the door. I will strengthen you, yes. But you must cooperate with grace. Grace is not permission to keep falling. Grace is power to stand. So make the decision before the moment comes. Decide now what you will do when the urge hits. Decide now what you will not watch. Decide now what you will unfollow. Decide now what boundaries you will set. Decide now what time of night the phone stops being your companion. Decide now what you will do when you are tired and vulnerable, because fatigue is often a doorway. Loneliness is often a doorway. Bitterness is often a doorway, and the enemy loves doorways. But I am the door too. I am the door to life. So when you feel pulled, run through my door. Run to prayer that is honest, not polished. Run to worship that lifts your gaze. Run to the word that anchors your mind. Run to community that keeps you accountable. Run to healthy labor, movement, creation, service. Because your body was designed to move, not only to consume. And if you have fallen, do not stay on the ground. Get up quickly. Repent quickly. Return quickly. Do not let the enemy turn one fall into a month of surrender. One mistake is not a lifestyle. One moment is not your identity. But the longer you stay in shame, the more you feed the cycle. So stand up and come to me. Some of you fear that I will be angry with you. Listen, my holiness is real, but my mercy is deeper than your fear. I do not wink at sin. I heal the sinner. I do not excuse darkness. I shine light. I do not tolerate what destroys you. I deliver you from it. So when you come to me, do not come with excuses. Come with truth. Say, Father, I have been craving what cannot satisfy. Say, Father, I have been trading peace for pleasure. Say, Father, I have been hiding and I am tired. Say, Father, I want to be free, but I need your help. That prayer is not weakness. That prayer is wisdom. That prayer is the beginning of breakthrough. Do you know why lust feels powerful? Because it speaks to the body, and the body can scream. But your spirit can speak louder when it is nourished. So feed your spirit, not with guilt-driven religion, not with performative holiness, but with real relationship. Walk with me when you wake up. Talk to me when you drive. Invite me into your evenings. Let your private life become my dwelling place. The enemy has claimed your private life as his playground. I am reclaiming it as my sanctuary. Now I want to address the lie that says, I will never change. That lie is ancient. It is the voice that keeps prisoners comfortable. It is the voice that keeps slaves calling bondage normal. But I tell you, you are not stuck. You have been shaped by habits, but habits can be unshaped. Your brain has been trained, but it can be retrained. Your heart has been wounded, but it can be healed. Your desires have been distorted, but they can be purified. I transform people. I resurrect dead places. I restore what seems lost. I do not simply improve you. I renew you. Do not be conformed, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. This is not poetry for you to admire. It is a promise for you to live. Renewal is not instant perfection. Renewal is daily alignment. Renewal is repeated choices. Renewal is 1,000 small obediences. Renewal is learning to say no to what is loud, so you can say yes to what is lasting. And you will ask, what if I fail again? Then you return again, and you learn again, and you build again, and you do not let failure define your future. You are not saved by your streak. You are saved by my grace. But hear me, grace is not a hammock. Grace is an engine. Grace will carry you forward if you stop turning around to kiss your chains. So cut ties with what leads you to sin. Some relationships are triggers. Some music feeds cravings. Some shows normalize what I call impure. Some jokes weaken your resistance. Some harmless accounts are hooks. You say, but it's everywhere. Yes. The world markets lust like a product. It sells bodies like merchandise. It trains eyes to devour. It celebrates what I call harmful. It calls purity immature, and calls restraint oppression. But you are not of the world. You live in it, but you do not belong to its system. My spirit in you is stronger than the appetite around you, so live differently, not in arrogance, not in judgment, but in freedom. Purity is not you becoming cold. Purity is you becoming clear. Purity is not you hating your body. Purity is you honoring it. Purity is not you avoiding love. Purity is you protecting love. Because love is sacred. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not demanding what it did not earn. Love does not use. Love does not take and leave. Love does not consume and discard. Lust consumes. Love cherishes. I want to teach you to cherish. I want you to look at people and see souls. I want you to treat your future spouse, whether present or promised, with honor even now. I want you to walk into your future without hidden shame. I want you to have a mind that is not foggy. I want you to pray without feeling like a hypocrite. I want you to worship without feeling split in two. I want you to laugh freely because you are not hiding. I want you to stand in front of temptation and say, you are not my master. Now listen carefully, because this is where many lose the battle. They try to fight lust with hatred for themselves. They whip themselves with guilt. They stare at their failure and call it discipline. But guilt does not produce freedom. It produces exhaustion. What produces freedom is love. My love. When you truly believe you are loved, you stop settling for counterfeits. When you truly believe you are mine, you stop giving yourself away cheaply. When you truly believe your soul is precious, you stop trading it for something temporary. So receive my love again, not as a concept, as a reality. I am not tolerating you. I am not barely putting up with you. I am not watching you with crossed arms. I am reaching for you. I am calling you. I am strengthening you. I am willing to walk with you through every craving, every restless night, every old memory that tries to pull you back. And yes, I am willing to forgive you. But forgiveness is not the end. It is the beginning. Forgiveness washes you. Then we build new habits. We build new rhythms. We build new boundaries. We build new desires. We build a life that makes temptation less attractive because I do not merely want you to resist lust. I want you to be satisfied in me. Some of you have tried to starve lust without feeding your soul. That will not last. A starving heart will eat anything. So I will feed you. I will fill you. I will teach you what it means to be content without being numb. I will teach you joy without regret. Without regret. I will teach you peace without compromise. I will teach you intimacy that does not cost you your dignity. My child, you have a destiny. You have a calling. There is a purpose attached to your life that lust is trying to interrupt, because the enemy fears what you will become when you are free. He fears your prayers when your conscience is clean. He fears your love when it is pure. He fears your leadership when you are not double-minded. He fears your discipline because discipline becomes authority. He fears your future family because purity becomes protection. He fears your healing because healed people heal others. That is why he targets your eyes. That is why he targets your mind. That's why he targets your mind. That is why he targets your private moments. But I am stronger, and I am not merely stronger, I am present. So do not fight tomorrow's battle today. Fight the battle of this moment. If you are tempted right now, pause, breathe, whisper my name. You do not need a long prayer. You need an honest one. Father, help me. That is enough. Then move your body. Change your environment. Turn on a light. Walk outside. Drink water. Do something that interrupts the trance. Because lust often comes like a trance, a narrowing of your world until the craving is the only thing you see. Break the trance. Invite me in. I will never shame you for calling on me. I will always honor it. And listen, your struggle is not the proof that you are far from me. Often, it is the proof that you are being called closer. Because the moment you begin to seek holiness, the enemy begins to negotiate. He tries to distract you. He tries to discourage you. He tries to make you tired. He tries to make you believe that your efforts are pointless. But I tell you, every time you resist, you are becoming stronger. Every time you choose purity, you are rewriting your brain. Every time you turn away, you are building spiritual muscle. Every time you confess and return, you are crushing shame. Progress is not always loud. Sometimes progress is simply, I said no today, and that no matters. That no is a seed, and seeds become harvest. You have asked, why does lust feel so spiritual sometimes? Like it has a grip beyond the physical? Because it does. Lust is not only temptation of the body, it is temptation of worship. It tries to sit on the throne. It tries to become what you run to for comfort, what you bow to for relief, what you obey for peace. But it cannot give peace. Only I can. So I say to you, submit your body to me. Submit your eyes to me. Submit your imagination to me. Submit your private world to me. James wrote, resist the devil, and he will flee. But he also wrote first, submit yourselves to God. James 4:7. Resistance without submission becomes willpower. Submission births power. Let me be your strength. Let me be your refuge. Let me be your satisfaction. Now, I want to speak to those who feel trapped in addiction. You have tried to stop, and you felt like you could not. You have hidden, and it grew. You have been ashamed, and it tightened. Come into the light. Tell someone you trust. Not everyone deserves your story, but someone does. The enemy thrives in secrecy. Healing thrives in confession. This is not about humiliation. This is about freedom. You are not weak for asking for help. You are wise, and when you take that step, I will meet you. I will place people around you. I will give you strategies. I will give you strength. I will give you patience. Because recovery is not a straight line. It is a journey of returning, and I will walk with you. Now I will speak to those who have been hurt, those whose history has made lust complicated. Some of you were exposed too early. Some of you were violated. Some of you learned to numb pain through pleasure. Some of you used fantasy as a shelter when reality felt unsafe. My child, I see the wound beneath the habit, and I do not treat you like a problem to be fixed. I treat you like a heart to be healed. I can heal trauma. I can restore innocence. I can rebuild trust. I can teach you that your body is not an object, and your worth is not defined by what happened to you. What happened to you was not my design, but your restoration is my promise. Come to me and let me do what only I can do. Make beauty from what was broken. Now I want you to hear something that will change how you fight. You cannot conquer lust by staring at lust. You conquer lust by building a life you don't want to escape from. So build healthy friendships. Build meaningful work. Build rhythms that nourish you. Build sleep. Build exercise. Build prayer. Build worship. Build your mind with truth. Build your heart with love. Because when you are full of what is good, the counterfeit loses its shine. And do not misunderstand, I am not against pleasure. I invented pleasure. I created joy. I formed laughter. I designed intimacy. But I designed it to be holy, safe, honoring, life-giving. The enemy steals pleasure from its rightful place and uses it like bait. I want to restore pleasure to its rightful place, where it does not master you but serves love. My child, you are not losing anything by choosing purity. You are gaining yourself. You are gaining peace in your chest. You are gaining clarity in your mind. You are gaining strength in your spirit. You are gaining confidence in your prayers. You are gaining integrity when no one is watching. You are gaining a future unshadowed by secret regret. I have more for you than a moment. I have more for you than a thrill. I have more for you than an image. I have more for you than an orgasm. I have more for you than a fantasy. I have a life, and I want to give it to you in fullness. So when temptation whispers, "You need this," answer with truth, "I need God." When temptation says, "This will satisfy," answer, "Only God satisfies." When temptation says, "No one will know," answer, "God knows, and God loves me enough to lead me out." When temptation says, "You can't change," answer, "My Father renews minds. My Father breaks chains. My Father restores." When temptation says, "Just this once," answer, "My soul is worth more than this." When temptation says, "You've already failed," answer, "Failure is not my home. Grace is, and if you stumble, do not speak to yourself like the enemy speaks to you. Speak to yourself like I speak to you, with truth, with hope, with direction. Get up, return, begin again. Now I will give you a vision of the life ahead. I see you waking up with a clean conscience. I see you walking through your day without the pull of secret guilt. I see you smiling because you are no longer divided. I see you looking people in the eyes with honor. I see you loving with sincerity. I see you praying with confidence. I see you becoming steady. Utter. I see you becoming disciplined. I see you becoming a protector instead of a consumer. I see you becoming a builder instead of a taker. I see you becoming someone who walks in the Spirit, so you do not gratify the desires of the flesh. See Galatians 5:16. Yes, you will still be human. Yes, you will still feel desire, but desire will no longer drive you like a storm. It will become something you steward, something you direct, something you submit, something you honor, and in that you will become truly free. Now, my child, I will speak one final time with firmness and love. Do not sell what is eternal for what is temporary. Do not trade your soul for a moment that cannot hold you. Do not make a covenant with regret. Do not let lust write your story. Let me write it. Come out of hiding. Come into the light. Come back to me. Not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready. Come now. And if you want a prayer, let this be your prayer. Not long, not complicated, but real. Father, I belong to you. Clean my heart. Renew my mind. Strengthen my will. Heal my wounds. Teach me love. Lead me away from temptation and into freedom. I choose you. I will answer that prayer. I will hold you. I will guide you. I will correct you when you drift. I will comfort you when you cry. I will strengthen you when you feel weak. I will forgive you when you return. I will not leave you in chains. I am the one who sets captives free. So rise, close the door, lift your eyes, take the next right step, and walk with me, because you are not made for temporary pleasure. You are made for eternal joy, and I love you always.